What's up guys, Nolan here, and today I want you to picture yourself sitting at your PC on day one of the wipe where you load up the game thinking of how quickly you gotta get to Prapor and Therapist, get their tasks, and then head over to Customs so that you can try and beat the queue. You want a good start to the wipe, so if you're feeling good, you got your drink, maybe some snacks, ready to get the grind going, only to open up the main menu and find no trader menu. Then you click the map to find you have no map options other than Streets of Tarkov. That is what will happen someday, and guess what? It is what very well could happen this wipe, albeit probably on a smaller scale, but maybe not. So we need to get the word out. I need your help to get the word out about the changes coming because people are not getting it. I keep seeing people talk about how they don't want to redo the early quests at the start or camping bronze pocket watch and a bunch of the early game memes and stuff. Let me be clear here. BSG have already confirmed that the tasks at the beginning have changed significantly. And that's really all that needs to be said in order to understand that the early game is going to change. And I am trying to help keep the confusion to a minimum. More on that in a minute though, because there is a new pre-wipe event today. We've got more pre-wipe shenanigans with day 4 here being essentially a fight club on Factory. All melee weapons do a lot more damage, and there's a quest from Skier to kill Tagilla and other players with melee weapons for trader levels. Yes, you heard that correctly, trader levels. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this might be a substitution for the Max Traders event. They might be making us work for it this time. It may not substitute everything on sale, but again, it is pretty easy to get money now between the dog tags and players trying to get melee kills. If you need some cash, just go laugh at the people on Factory bringing a hatchet that they can't even throw to a gunfight. Just make sure you're laughing from a distance though, because they will get you, especially since now people are also running around with much higher strength. In case you're wondering, yes, all of these events have been stacking. If this event is indeed substituting the trader unlocks and tomorrow's event is something a bit more final, like increased spawns on a bunch of the mobs and bosses and stuff like that, then I might end up calling it before they even send the tweet out in the afternoon that the wipe is going to happen on Thursday, but we will see what happens. It's not a guarantee. I am expecting a different event now for sure. It looks like BSG have taken the want for shorter and more meaningful events during pre-wipe as different and more interesting events. Because although in the end, these events are getting us to where we would be in pre-wipe normally, they're different and they are making it, more interesting. So I'm going to be spending the last days here yelling from the top of the highest building that I can find that we are heading into uncharted territory this wipe. With sweeping changes to the tasks in the early game, possibly the entire game, and the practical guarantee of Streets Part 1 as well as Lightkeeper coming this patch, the chances that we will be starting from the beginning in terms of game knowledge is very high. Very few people know what it was like starting out in the early days of Tarkov. I imagine practically all of you started playing when all the quests up to level 20 were already on the wiki and had detailed maps and videos to show you where to go. Take a second to look at the descriptions of some of these starting quests around finding objects like the bronze pocket watch and rooms that required keys for task items, and think whether you would be able to quickly be able to figure out where that stuff would be. Imagine you don't even know what key you need, you don't know where the truck with the watch is, and you don't know the best way to get to the extract after you happen to find it. And for the cherry on top, picture you're surrounded by buildings that could have someone sitting in any window popping shots at you. Streets of Tarkov is supposed to be the first map that we start on in game. There will come a day that we have to complete quests on Streets first because it is the only map that we will have access to. So assuming Streets Part 1 is in this patch, they have already confirmed the big task changes along with that there will be a lot of quests on Streets Part 1. So again, although it isn't guaranteed, I think we're making a mistake by not assuming those starting tasks will now pop up somewhere on Streets. Oh, and I also want to add that the traders might not even be there either. Massive if here, there is nothing confirmed, but again, there is a chance that because they've likely worked out the in-raid interaction for Lightkeeper since he's likely to be in this patch, and as a reminder, it's the same story as Streets of Tarkov, I think they're just not officially saying the words that Lightkeeper will be in this patch, but he's going to be in this patch. So there's a chance they've also gone and moved at least a couple traders in raid with him where we need to go and figure out where they are before we can work with them. That's not leaving out the possibility that maybe we started the game and we already have a note understanding where Prapor is or a clue where Therapist is or something like that. I'm just saying there's a real chance that we go into that main menu and they aren't accessible. We have to go and do something in order to gain access to them first, because that is how it will work someday. So I cannot stress this enough. It is fact that BSG plan to have more in-raid traders. Streets is going to be the only map that we have access to at the start. BSG admitted that they made big changes to the starting quests. They admitted Streets Part 1 will have a lot of quests, and there's a lot of stuff that they're keeping secret this one. There is such a good chance, and I actually think it is likely that we log in on Wipe Day and are left clueless with huge new maps and no idea what to do next, because guess what? That's what BSG want. We have gotten way too used to the cookie cutter repetitive maps, routes, and tasks at the beginning of wipes, and it's only because it was necessary because of the development. They literally just hadn't built the the stuff yet. They hadn't gotten to changing it up yet. Well, they made the time to get around to it this patch. The only question left is how much time exactly. Whether there are these massive sweeping changes yet or not, I would at the very least expect to see streets pop up as the required location for at least some of the early quests. So get ready to do some real exploring on day one instead of racing like we've come accustomed to. Please at least tell your friends about this stuff, or you could share the video, but either way, get the information out there. It needs to get out there. Would really appreciate the help on that there, but that's going to do it for today. There absolutely will be a new event tomorrow, so talk again soon. For the minute by minute stuff, make sure you follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both linked below. If you like this video, there's a button for that. Subscribe for more like it, or jump into the comments and tell me what you think the next event will be. For latest news, check this out here. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.